All right. So with us getting started here, I always want to start off asking permission. Can we say a quick prayer? I know we have different backgrounds or whatever, but right now is the perfect time for us to turn to a higher power and ask for some blessings. So with that, I'm going to get started. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you touch and bless all the families represented here, all the businesses represented here, and keep them healthy and safe, Lord. Watch over them through this trying time. We ask that you bless their families and bless the country right now, bless the world to work us through this virus that we're encountering, Lord. We know that you are bigger than all of that. Guide us through. We ask all these things in your name. Amen. All right, so let's get going. We've been talking about the shift, and I don't know if you guys have the book, I've been reading it. Last week we went over tactics 2, 3, and 4, which was first and foremost dealing with your expenses. Have you guys looked at your expenses and started looking at what you can cut out?
Yes, we did.
Share some ideas. What did you come up with, and what did you make reductions on, if you don't mind?
We called the mortgage company and we stopped the mortgage for some months.
If you can get it now, remember that you got to be on time when they started up again.
Yeah, they said they can stop it for 90 days. That is the 4-band county cover something. So we stop it for 90 days. I call the activities for my kids. I stop them too. I'm trying to see electricity less quote.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm scared.
Anybody else make any reductions or anything, or share?
We did.
So my family spent a lot of money on. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
My family spends a lot of money on like going out and really just like food.
Right.
So we've been really putting our foot down and just using what's in our pantry and things like that. And I didn't have a lot of business expenses because again, I was just starting up.
Getting started up. Okay.
Right.
What about you, Amanda?
So after our team meeting on Wednesday, I actually called my husband's car loan.
Okay.
And so they'll stop one payment. So we won't have our next payment until May. Right. And so they just added on to the end of the loan. So, which, I mean, that's just $600 right now. But then we also cut DirecTV. We actually both of my kids have cell phones. We actually put them on hold right now because, well, they're not going anywhere and they don't need a cell phone. So it's not like they have anywhere to go. So we're kind of like, okay, well, let's put those on hold. That's $90 a month. And the other thing I learned too, like calling someone like right now, like Verizon, they talk to you and they have all these other ways to save money. And my first initial call, I actually saved probably $50 a month. Just by calling them and getting on direct billing, making sure that was hooked up, making sure that my, my paperless billing, that was an extra $5 a month. Like there was all these things. And I was like, I just saved by calling you, I saved $50 a month because you guys won't tell us that. Right. You have to ask.
Good morning, Cynthia. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We're just kind of reviewing some of the expenses that we've looked at and expenses we've been able to cut back. Do you have anything you want to share? Were you able to take a look at yours and make any reductions?
Yes, I'm taking a look at mine. I haven't made the reductions yet, but I'm doing that. I'm going to do that.
Well, that's a big step right now because, there is some uncertainty, and the more liquid cash you can keep on hand, the better off you'll be going forward as we
get into this. One of those is my desk at Keller Williams. I might be giving that one up because I tend to spend more time in the waiting room.
Okay. I mean, hey, everything has to be looked at. Make a good judgment call. If it's not going to affect your business and you can still operate at a high level, hey, everything's up should be evaluated. I'm not going to tell you not to do anything. So I just want a quick review of expenses, how important it is for us to continue to look at that as we get deeper into this thing. We still don't know how it's going to play out. We have to be conscious of all of our costs. Today I want to talk about tactics 4 and 5. We talked about lead generation last week. but I want to get a little bit deeper into it about, as you call your database, I think you all know the message, but just tell me for my reassurance, what are you saying? What is our message right now? When you call your database, it's a simple script. What should we be saying?
Hope you all and your family safe.
Exactly. It's as simple as that. That is a conversation starter right now that is golden. It's as simple as that. Now, will it lead to business right now? It may. But a lot of times what we're trying to establish right now is mind share. So that you were the realtor that reached out to them, touch base with a human touch. How are you feeling? So when they are ready to make a real estate move, they'll remember Human, Amber, Cynthia, Amanda reached out to me when times was tough, and they really cared about me. So that's what we really want to push through, about when you call in your database, having that simple script and that dialogue to find out how can, are you okay? Is everything good? And if there's a real estate need, they will definitely ask you about it. Because like you say, as we get into this thing, we don't know how far it's going to go. Companies are making moves as far as reducing workforces and such. One of your clients could be affected. You guys have anything to share on that?
Yeah, I do. One of my clients is a renter, and she's running into some hard times. Mm-hmm. So I came across a bunch of resources. I spent my day looking that stuff up. If anybody else has clients in that position who are renters, who are struggling making their rent, just reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to share with you the resources that I found.
Now, that's a great example. If you have that kind of information, you put that out on your social media outlets to draw people to you. Just imagine what kind of boost that'll be for you when they are ready to do something. You're drawing clients to yourself because you're contributing information of worth for their particular needs. So that's a very important tip that she just shared.
Cynthia, can I have your
what's
email,
your?
Please?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure of everybody who's on here, but Keith, what do you think is the best way to get that list? Because I'm more than happy to send it out to everybody.
I'll tell you what, if you want, you could send it to me and then I can distribute it, or I hear you, Cynthia. You want to keep it simple. Send it to me and I'll distribute it to everybody on the call.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. And for you guys, I want you to text me or email me. I'm going to give you my email address so you can have it. It's just keithj@kw.com.
Thank you.
Good morning, Alpana. All right, so we talked about expenses. We talked about clients. Now, we talked about reaching out to your database. I also want to talk about reaching those people you haven't met. I know right now people are saying, some states are saying you can't even cold call. Fortunately, we've been blessed. Texas has deemed us essential. I think right now, if you can reach out to someone just to make yourself available to them, someone that you don't know, you might find some right now business. A lot of your database might be just, you know them, they might be in good situations. There's someone that you don't know that more than likely has a real estate need for right now. And that's what we all need right now, is a deal in place to generate some income. Be it a lease, be it a sale, purchase, we all need a deal right now during this period. So if you can find a way to reach out to that unmet group of people that you don't know, be it a post, a social post like Cynthia put up about resources, coming from contribution, but to some people that you don't know that may have a real estate need right now. I know an agent that received a call from someone that really wanted to hear about getting their house sold. They went through some medical issues, contemplating selling. Didn't know them, but reached out. So that's what we were looking for right now, the motivated. Who are the motivated people right now? So we're all going to call our database. You might look up and find something there, but I'm sure there's somebody that we don't know has a need. What are your thoughts on that?
So I was calling expireds before all of this happened, and I've been trying to figure out a way to pick that back up and call them again.
Okay.
Because some of them might be in a situation where they do need to sell.
Exactly. We've had visitors on the call. They can come say hello.
Oh, yes.
How you doing?
This is my nephew.
How you doing, young man?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Aw.
I love it.
Yeah, so I mean, I would like to start calling them again. I'm just not quite sure of the scripts that I was using before. Are they still appropriate?
Well, I would shift it up to say, hey, I've noticed your house expired. Is there anything I can do to help? I know this is a difficult time right now. Is there something I can do to help? And for those that are going to be open to it, if they say, hey, yeah, I want to sell my house, that's your opening. I'm sure somebody on that expired list, canceled list, may be facing a situation where they still need to sell. So don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. It's definitely an opportunity. It's definitely an opportunity. My coach sent out a script. It was more or less for calling people from the outside companies that, hey, I'm here to help, blah, blah, blah. And so my job is like, you're looking for sellers or buyers. I'm looking for agents. And it was a non-threatening, we're all in this together. There's something I can do to help. We have resources here. Same script applies to any canceled or expired. Hey, I noticed your house didn't sell. I know it's a difficult time. Is there something I can do to help you in this period? Or are you still looking to sell your home? Simple as that. Come from contribution, not overly aggressive, just extending a helping hand. And if the motivated people will let you know, yeah, I still need to sell. Can you help me?
Oh, and that's making me think too. I know there's been a lot of information that's come out on the closed Facebook website about how to manage the virus, how to handle showings. And I think if we can come to these people who need to sell and say, hey, look, we have a process. I have a process to handle this virus situation to minimize your risk.
Right.
Then it sounds like you're speaking with authority and that you're running this process and you know how to help them.
Exactly. What I've seen recently, I'm just talking from what I've seen Kelly do, her sellers that are still selling, they leave the house before the showing, or they leave just before she goes in, they leave the lights on, doors open, so that it minimizes touching and so on and so forth when they go through the home. And that's one way to manage it. Or you could say showings between such and such hours on the weekend, so it's controlled, and then the sellers can come wipe down everything before taking over the house. Just different ideas so they can still feel like I have control of my house and I can control who enters, but I can still make it available to the public. And like you say, come off as the authority on that.
Does anyone has any idea how long it's gonna stay this?
There's no way of telling. I've heard all kinds of stories. It's susceptible to high temperatures. It doesn't survive in high temperatures, so on and so forth. Who knows? The key thing I understand is they want to get control of it so that we didn't have this run up in incidents to slam the hospitals. Hopefully, once they feel as though we have it contained or more viruses produced or test kits, we can get back to some level of normalcy. So I want to take a step back. What is your mindsets like? How is your mindset? Because we're all dealing with a bunch of change. I don't know how much more time we have, but what is your mindset like right now? Share your thoughts. How you feel. I mean, let's be open and honest about it. I'm confident. I'm nervous. Let's share it and let's talk about it. How you feeling?
I think initially, being basically a brand new agent myself, I was kind of skeptical of, should I even stay in this?
Okay.
But I think for me, what really helped kind of shift that into, I can definitely do this, has been attending the team meetings and the pivot online live classes that they're doing. reading the book even.
Yes.
So now I feel confident. I have 2 clients that I'm working with. One's a buyer, one's a renter.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm doing my homework. I'm literally every like 20 minutes on the Facebook post to see if anybody's got any new updates. So I feel like we can definitely all get through this.
Okay. Anybody else want to share?
I'm trying to come in on it. Sorry, a few minutes late.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Amber, I just heard the end of what you were saying. Actually, believe it or not, the fact that you are new to this industry gives you an advantage over a lot of people. Because one, you're coming into the industry at a time when there's plenty of opportunities.
Right.
And because you don't know any better, you learn as you go and you reinvent yourself. You adapt. Whatever you're doing prior to this, whether it was going to school, working, or anything else, all the different skills that you've learned throughout this process, now is the time to implement. As a matter of fact, you know, my background's more in business than anything else. And I was telling Keith yesterday, 2 days ago, I got a phone call from my partner in Belgium that our largest client, who had been with us since 2006, he just had his business closed down with COVID-19. And over there, he literally put a post on there and said, "You're done." The great thing about what we're in right now, we just got exempt from a lot of the different restrictions that are being put on everybody else. We can still do business. And I mean, right now it's a time to do it. Even with things, as a matter of fact, this morning I got a note from one of my teammates on our bowl team. Jamie actually put something on there talking about the iBuyers. You know, a lot of times people are talking about the fact that iBuyers will be competing against us and so forth and so on. Well, the biggest iBuyers, such as Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow Offers, and Redfin, have all closed down right now, which means that it's our time to go in and show how we as professionals can really help out at times like these.
Right.
Can I jump? I want to piggyback off that if I can. Go ahead, Cynthia. Are you going to say what you may say what I'm about to say? Go ahead.
I was going to say, now is a good time to take those classes. They're 2.5 hours. It cost me $250, and I got my Keller offer certification yesterday. They give you tools as well to help have those conversations with your sellers. And so it's just something else that you can offer for somebody who needs to go and needs to go fast.
And that's big right now, because when we get through this, as we said, there's some people who may be in that situation because of their job situation where they have fallen behind, and they say, hey, I need to get out of this mortgage right now. So now you have a tool under your belt. We can go the traditional route, or we can go the iBuyer route. Present both to your clients, see which one they choose. And now you're standing there looking like the authority, because you have more than just one option. And so definitely, it's something, if you can invest that $250, it's an investment well spent. I'm actually going to go witness someone actually sign somebody up for that today. And so I have a little bit more knowledge on the process. I'll be happy to share after I see it for myself.
Oh, yes, that would be nice. Please share that.
Just a little bit. So I'll get to witness it, and I'll share what I see and how it goes and keep you posted. But if you can invest that money in that, because when we get through this thing, it's going to be a lot of opportunities, just like Alex mentioned. People that have to sell, people that may have to do a short sale, and get your database as tight as possible so that you can reach these people in one swoop versus piecemeal. Because when it does come back and the opportunities are there, you want to be able to pounce to set you up for the rest of the year. So great tip, Alex. Anybody else have anything? Because I think we're going to have maybe 10 minutes, and I'm getting new to this Zoom thing. I've got cut off last week. I don't want to end abruptly like that. Anybody else have something they want to share? Does everybody have the book? Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yesterday I actually had someone reach out from my old office in Washington. So obviously, right now Washington State has deemed them real estate agents as unnecessary, and they have had to cease like all operations. And the only people that have in our business, so real estate agents and inspectors can't go out and do their business. So it was kind of nice yesterday. I kind of focused on looking at making sure that the people from my Washington office know that I've moved to Texas. And I had like 4 or 5 different agents reach out to me and say, hey, someone's looking. Hey, I gave your name. Hey. So it was kind of good to be like, oh, okay. So I had some good conversations about real estate yesterday, and getting more people to know that I'm out here if you do have anyone coming out here.
Definitely work that angle.
Yes.
Work that angle. Jack Avon is new to our office from Washington, and he's doing a ton of business from the West Coast, just referrals. So that is definitely another opportunity. Whatever your profession was before doing real estate, let them know that you're now selling real estate, because they know someone that needs a real estate transaction. So it's really making yourself available and pursuing all niches, all lead generation sources, narrowing it down to your top 5 and going hard at it. So if anyone doesn't have the book, I can email you a digital copy so you can have the whole thing on your computer. Just reach out to me, let me know. And I want to go further into the tactics. Some things, I'm using the book more or less as a guide, because the next chapter, tactic 6 or so, talks about online leads and so forth. The key there is speed to lead. I don't know how much of us are into that right now, and I don't know if it's where we need to focus our efforts with the market we're in. I'm going to focus on the stuff that's more appropriate to what we're facing right now to help us move forward. So as we get close to, anybody have any closing thoughts, any ahas to share?
Quick question, along the lines of what you were saying, Amanda, that's exactly right. I've had people from New York, Florida, California, and Washington actually reaching out right now, because you're right, they've been shut down completely. And some of them have even offered to do administrative help. I mean, just so I can keep busy, keep doing something. Because when they're shut down completely. We're in a very, very unique situation here. And that kind of says a little bit about our tree pack as well, what we pay for or we pay into. Because a lot of that had to do with the login that we've done on behalf to make sure that we stay working, that we were able to do what we're doing.
Anybody else?
No.
Before we go, what would you like to see come out of this for your next meeting? I'm open to it. So it's no set agenda. This is for us. So whatever you want to see happen, what will help you next, we can include it. So this is something we're going to control and direct. Let me hear what you have to say.
I would like to hear more about Keller offers. Is that what you said?
Yes, Keller.
And how that process goes to be better informed to see if that's something that I can do, or if my clients would even be interested in something like that. Because I heard the word, but I'm not entirely sure what all it entails and the process itself.
Anybody want to share on that before I jump into it? Cynthia, you've been looking into it, so share some of the things you've learned.
Yeah, so really what I learned is that it's partnered with OfferPad. It's a way to be competitive and to have an iBuyer product that we can offer to our sellers. And the big thing I like about it is that they really focus on protecting us as agents. So Keller offers acts as the intermediary between the cash buyer or the investor that's coming in to buy the property. They follow the standard model in terms of iBuyers, the way that OfferPad, Open Door, Zillow does, which means that they come in, they try to buy the house. They look for houses that can be resold rather quickly and don't need a lot of flipping or anything of that nature. It's not going to be like an HGTV flip kind of property. And then you can get, I think there's, if you offer it to Keller Offers, you can get 1%, and then you can relist it and get another 1% of the sale. Or if it goes directly to like a cash and hold situation, you can get 2% on the sale. And then the way they've structured it really keeps us agents in the loop so that we can still maintain that relationship with our clients and potentially grow on that relationship later on. It's not a one and done kind of deal.
Okay.
Well, what I would suggest the key target for that would be, again, for folks in distress, And then folks that may have purchased a home, new construction or something like that, and they need to get out of their mortgage right away, that would be another opportunity for someone to say, I need to get out of this. I can't have 2 mortgages right now. That would be another target audience for iBuyer.
Yeah, and so in fact, they actually allow a 90+ day close for somebody who's purchasing a new construction home.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So
I had a question.
Yes.
So say that, because it just popped into my head, because I have a friend who's they have 2 houses. They've been trying to sell their house, and they started before I got into real estate. So they got with an agent who she says he just doesn't seem motivated. She says that she's not seeing him market their home on any like social media, things like that. Mm-hmm. So if I were to mention this to her, and this is something that she's interested in, how would I just refer them to somebody who is Keller offers certified, or Keller buys?
What I would suggest is that person be you. That would be my first suggestion. If you couldn't do that, somebody on this call that has been certified, and work a referral agreement that way. So if they need some help right now, mm-hmm. work a referral agreement with someone right here on this call that just got certified and make it happen. So if you can't do it in time, there's another way to still make it profitable, and you still should stand out as the person that helped the client.
Right. Yeah, because I know she's trying to get out. So
yeah, so Cynthia just got certified.
Yeah.
And the more I learn, like I say, from what I see today and how it goes, I'll be happy to share all of that next week. So I'm going on my first, I'm going to accompany someone on their first sign up for that.
Awesome.
Something else, Amber, reach out. There's a lot of us that have investors, and right now they're coming out of the woodworks. In the past week alone, I've had about $2.5 to $2.7 million worth of cash that has been offered to pick up any type of property. And these guys aren't necessarily always looking for discount properties. Something like that you might have or your friend has. And always have contingency plans. You know, the iBuyer program that we have is great, phenomenal. I'll give you an example that happened to me 3 days ago on Monday. Everything has already been agreed upon with the other agent. My clients were supposed to get their keys at 3 p.m. that afternoon. At 1:07, I get a text from the other agent saying that the seller, or actually the landlord's backed out. The wife had said yes, and the husband said no. So luckily, I've been working on a couple of other things, and I was able to get into a different home by 4 o'clock that afternoon. But had I not done that, I mean, can you imagine trying to call your client and saying, these people are living in a hotel? Literally, they had already called me and said, okay, we gave up our hotel room, we're ready to go, we're gonna meet there at 3 o'clock, right? At 1:07, we received a phone call saying everything's off. So you have 2 options at the same time. Either, you know, call your client and say, sorry, you're out of the home, you're out of the hotel, whatever. Or you can call them, which is what I ended up doing. I said, hey, their name's Robert. Hey, Robert, how are you? This is Alex. Williams. Sure, what's going on? Are we ready? I said, well, I have good news and bad news for you. What do you want first? So he goes, what's the bad news? I said, the bad news is that the house we were supposed to get at 3 o'clock is not going to happen. He's like, what do you mean? So I explained to him what happened. And he goes, what's the good news? I said, the good news is that that other home that we went to look at, that your wife was interested in, is available. I already spoke to the agent, spoke to the landlords, anything else. We'll be ready by 4 without working. And it did. But it takes a little bit out of the block.
I think that's a key statement he makes right now in this period of time. We're going to be looked at for guidance. We're going to be looked at it in very high esteem for people that are in desperate situations. So the more we can come up with solutions, because really the way I look at it, and I've been told this a couple times, we're paid to solve problems. That's really our focus, to bring solutions to the table, no matter in whatever situation. If we're not the person to do it, to know the person or the institution or resource that can solve the problem. We are the problem solver for these people's housing needs. And so that's how we're going to set ourselves apart. First, by showing that we care and we're human. Second, that we have resources. If we don't know the answer, we can get the answer. and we have resources and tools to help these people in whatever situation they face. So his example, being able to think out the box, have backup plans, think through the situation so that if this falls out, we can go here. So we're going to have to think a little bit further than point A. We're going to have to look at B and C, have that in our hip pocket for as we go through, because it is unstable right now. And the agent that has solutions remains calm and can still guide folks to their end destination. Those are going to folks that are going to win the bounty for the upswing of business when it does come.
Right.
Anything else? I'm not trying to keep you guys. Oh, another thing I want to talk about. Tell me how you're trying. There's no try. How are you attempting to manage your time now that you're at home?
No, attempting is so fine.
Oh my God.
How are you managing your time while you're at home?
How are you managing your time while you're at home? How are you doing? Go ahead, Yuma. Hold up 1 second. Go ahead, you're right.
Yes, well, you said how we manage the time in the home. We just talk to the kids, do the backyard stuff, cooking a lot. We eat a lot. After this, we are going to gain a lot of weight. That's what we're doing.
Okay, all right. But you got to carve out some time. You said you were on the phone with your clients, but you are making calls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're making the call. Of course, this is a different thing. This is different.
Right.
Yeah, but we used to drive a lot. We used to drive, and we miss it. Actually, I miss driving.
Right. Anybody else want to share how are you managing your time at home?
My mornings from
Hold up, Cynthia.
my mornings from 7 up until 11:30 are for work. This is like reading emails, replying to people, making my calls, and then my 2 to 3 is for outside activities with my son. And then I'll do an evening of, again, going through my emails and then just reading books.
Okay. All right. Cynthia, what you got?
I was going to say, I'm not doing a good job.
It's difficult. It's a new normal.
Some days are better than others.
It's hard.
It's difficult. We're all got to adjust to this new system. So I guess my advice is don't beat yourself up. Continue to find out what systems work best for you. What times can you really get your focused effort in? And once you figure that out, stick with it.
Yeah. For example, on my end, I've actually been busier now than I was before, which is incredible. The few of you guys that do know me personally, that I carry 2 phones. And believe it or not, lately I feel like I'm on 2 phones at all times. In terms of the time management itself, my day still start off at 3 o'clock in the morning. Do I plan out before my wife gets up and everything else. Then I'll work till about 7 a.m. Then we'll go have breakfast together and stuff. And then after that, we'll have meetings and everything else. So we try to cut everything off about 5 or 6 in the afternoon. But the important thing that I found, at least on my end, is to make sure that you carve out time for your family. It's about balance, because now that we're at home and we can be working full time, sometimes my wife comes in and goes, "Hey, sweetie, what? It's 9 o'clock at night. Can we spend some time together?" Because she's here by herself as well. So we just be conscientious of that.
That's a good point, because working from home, you can work longer than what you normally would, and you neglect your family. So do your best, find that balance, especially your kids are still going to need you, your family's going to need you. You got to spend time with them. Try to find a way, find a way to carve out your 3 hours of focused energy, but don't neglect your family. Don't neglect your health. Get out and walk if you can. If you feel it's safe and you're comfortable with it, you can still walk with 6 feet of distance from folks, or the weather's too nice just to let it pass you by. So do what you feel is comfortable and you feel safe with, but still take care of yourself and take care of your family too. All right.
You said, Keith, a second ago, the walking, actually, you get to know your neighbors so much better. Even if it's 6 feet away, the fact that you say hello now, they're just standing out by the driveway, kind of waiting for people to walk by, just say hi and have conversations with them.
It's so amazing. I see people, I've never seen this many people walking in my community. The whole family out. It's like, I'm showing my age, but it's taking you back to when you used to be outside and you say, oh, that's Mr. Johnson on the porch. You can't be out here saying this and you can't be out here doing that because you know they'll call you out or tell your parents. So it's so wild to see now, but something good could come out of all this too, that we again become a true community and not just be, you know your neighbors to the left and the right possibly,